Hey guys, happy Thursday. We
Happy
are
Thursday.
full force into our season 7 launch. And you're in for a real treat today. I'm going to introduce you to my Finnish sister, my Finnish friend. So we're going to talk to Sue today just to kind of hear what her journey has been like and how she came to know about Amy Howard at Home and the Old World Finishing course. So if you're watching this, welcome. We are 4 days into our launch, and it is so exciting to see those of you that are going to be my new students. And I know that there are just questions that you have about what does that look like, or how is it something that I'm going to be able to learn? Is it too difficult? Is it going to be over my head? Is it what all those things? Um, I just thought of this. One of those things that's fear. Fear is going to keep you from moving forward. And we kind of have a sisterhood of not allowing fear to take us over. So, um, Sue, welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome. Thank you for taking your time today out of your busy day to be able to talk with me, and to those that are watching. Thank you.
It's a privilege. Thank you.
So, Sue, tell everybody what's the name of your business?
It's changed
Okay.
because of the classes that I've taken from you. For Amy's business coaching is like taking a graduate class in business, only it's hands-on and applicable. It's relevant. So I had a cutesy name, the Painted Lady, and it was when I was just painting plain old regular painting. And as I've progressed and finished the old world finish class and then taken the inner circle classes, and I'll continue with that, Amy has taught us that people want to know who is the artist, because when you are progressing through her classes, you are gaining more artistic talents. I think Amy said you say it's more for their toolbox, but you're becoming a better artist, and your repertoire of skills is growing tremendously. So for the people that would be our audience or customers, they want to know who's the artist. My middle name is Lynn, so my business name is now Sue Lynn Finishes. And I had about 6 different changes, and then it hit me. This was the one that stuck because, Amy, you tell us about our finishes and have said the word enough. And it was like, I need to go and have Sue Lynn Finishes. And it makes sense because the finishes can be a noun or a verb. And it's
Very,
simple. I can remember it at 66. I can remember my own company name.
I'm so glad. I'm so proud of you.
Thank
Um,
you.
I will tell you, and I know this is kind of off topic, I always have to remember to edit and focus, but something that those of you that may be watching that you don't realize, we are a group of men and women that
Mhm,
love rescuing and restoring
mhm.
furniture. We love having beautiful homes. We love creating beautiful environments for our customers and clients to be able to have. But on top of that, there is this common thread that seems to join us in the fact of the things that we love. That
Yes.
is, we and I love this. I love this explanation of a tribe. It's a tribe
Mhm.
of people that have common goals, that have common loves, and we have forged these friendships that are, even though it's all been virtual, they're real, and they're meaningful, and they're deep. And I think that's one of the benefits of our old world finishing
Yeah.
course, that we offer. And a lot of people may not realize that, because one thing, you go through the modules, you'll have your homework, you'll do your live mentoring with me, but then you have your tribe of people that are there, the most positive, most loving, affirmative people. And that's a great part of it, because sometimes the stinking thinking in our brains, and when we start questioning when we're actually painting or doing things, we need somebody to kind of take our hand and go, hey, stop, this looks great, continue on with this. So Sue, I'm curious, and just to kind of let everybody know here, how did you originally get to know about Amy Howard at Home?
I can't tell you what came first, the chicken or the egg, because they happened almost simultaneously. I saw something on Facebook because I was doing, like looking at YouTube tutorials, and they were all pretty much the same, and I wasn't really learning anything, and there was a lot of jibber jabber, and it's like, let's get to the point and teach. So there was an ad that popped up, and I think it was when you were having your classes live in Memphis. It was pre-COVID, right before COVID hit.
Okay.
And about the same time, my best friend, who's an interior designer, gave me one of your books. And so it clicked. It was like, oh, this is the woman I saw.
Same
Well,
one.
I didn't take the class when I saw it at first because I had just spent way too much money on some paints, another brand.
We
And
all
I
have.
ended up practically giving them away because I had horrible results. So the way no, it's fine. It wasn't drying. It was always tacky. So I was starting to get frustrated with the product because I was spending a lot of time. So everything kind of, it was almost like kismet. It happened almost simultaneously. So your ad came up again. I was now very aware, and I had Googled and looked and read about you. And it was like, that's it. I'm taking her class. And it was because everyone was doing the same old, and you will hear Amy say it. A lot of people they're paint slappers. They slap on paint. It's latex that's on sale from a big box store, and then they might as well drag it behind the truck down the gravel road because they're standing and it doesn't even look natural. So there you've got the very primitive, it's not a finished look for a lover or connoisseur of good furniture. Um, then you've got the same old where they're doing maybe, shading and blending, which we can do. We can do those techniques. So I still see stuff, but I have focused everything on Amy because everyone else is doing the same old thing. Blend it, slap on a transfer, call it good, a little bit of wax. And I think it's trendy. I think it's going to go away. I wanted to set myself apart from the paint slappers and the transfer blenders. And I finally said, you know what? I'm worth it. I'm going to take this old world class. And it is the best investment. And I did mention it to Amy. I spent a lot of money on my master's. It's a better investment than I spent on my master's.
That
It
is so,
changed my life.
that is one of the kindest things anyone
It's
has ever
honest.
said.
It's brutally
But,
honest.
you know, I don't know. I don't know that people that are redoing furniture or cabinetry or interiors or walls or art or
Right.
whatever, they don't realize that the way we're doing it is that it can go in a lot of different directions.
Yes.
But they love making things with their hands. That's
Yes.
one of the commonalities that we all have. We love creating something that is more beautiful, especially we love taking something and rescuing and restoring it, but that may transition into artwork. That may transition into floors or walls or whatever. Um, and it's important to understand why something is developed and to understand the process and all of that goes together. And I think you're right in the fact that so many times with trends, um, and how they're birthed, they will go through a cycle.
Yeah.
But if you do things in a very classic way
Yes.
that has an art history base that's been around for thousands of years, it never goes out of style. It's classicism to where you're training your eye and it's something that can fit and go into any room or transition into another house or whatever. And also your customer, the customer that you are developing finishes and painting furniture for is up here and they're willing to pay more money.
Mm-hmm.
Um, So no, what a incredibly gracious, generous thing to say. That is so sweet. Thank you. So all right. So my next question is, as far as, and I think we answered this for everybody, but as far as what you painted before, it was, would we say kind of you were painting with acrylic or chalk based paint and waxing it, and you wanted to be able to take your painting skills to the next
Mhm.
level? So
I Right. I did start with a chalk-based paint, and then I tried an acrylic resin paint, and I had beautiful colors, but I could not get them to adhere the way I wanted and dry the way I needed them to.
okay. So now that you've done the, what season were you in the Old World Finishing course? Were
5.
you you were 5? Okay. So now that you have completed it, the good thing about it is, and those of you that may be watching, you have that, you have those
Mhm.
modules, and you're in the mentoring forever, in
Mhm.
perpetuity. So you can pop in and pop out and do this at your own pace because
Right.
life happens. But so now that you have taken the course, what would you say is something that you look at and go, I can't believe I did that? I mean, that really surprises me.
Mhm. I just finished 2 tables, and I love them. They look like I found them in Europe. One of them is an antique round table, and it's in off-whites and fairly gray. I'm not a huge gray fan, but I use the patina, the cracked patina, and then I use this, I call it the smackdown technique, where you just put your fingers and pull, or you move your whole fan. My name for it is the smackdown.
Okay.
Um, it looks spectacular. That is not a style my husband likes, but he goes, Sue, that is a beautiful table. Then I have been using and practicing this smackdown, patina, because I like where it's crackled, but then I like chunks out of it,
Yes.
as if it has a long, rough history, but it was still a love piece.
Mhm.
And I see it as it came from a French beautiful apartment and then to their country home, and then maybe somebody tossed it around, and it's got a story.
Mhm.
Then I just took everything I do is solid wood, old wood, a little nightstand, and I used a new color, and I just used a crackle, but I experimented, some crackle heavier in spots, some lighter. It is the most outstanding finish I've done yet. It is just beautiful. So the cracked patina I am the most comfortable with.
Okay. What is what's your next game of attack? I'm just curious. Like as far as a finish. Now that you feel like you've got the smackdown,
Oh, I've got the smackdown
you got the
down.
smackdown down pat. What is your next what's your next finish that you're going to tackle that you learned in the Old World Finishing course?
It's tied. I have struggled. It's the simplest one. Well, I do want to mention, I do love the wax class where you taught us to mix different
Your
waxes.
custom waxes?
Oh, yeah. I don't have to buy other brands anymore. I can custom wax exactly what I want, and I like mixing my colors. And so, and playing, it's like chemistry for fun instead of a grade. My next finish is tied. I had trouble with milk paint, which is strange because everyone says it's the easiest. But Amy mentioned in our tribe, you stay in contact and you form friendships. And there's a young man that did a gorgeous cherub, and it looks so much like a cherub, an antique cherub picture that my husband's daughter took. I asked him how he did it. And so he told me his technique. So I'm going to try Fabio's technique with
I was going to
milk
ask
paint.
if it was Fabio.
It's Fabio.
He's
And we got
Italian.
to chat, yes. And he did a cherub that I just want to steal. I want to go to Pennsylvania and steal it from him. But I'm going to try his technique. And then because I'm in inner circle, I am going to try some more Venetian plaster. I did pretty good, but it wasn't perfect. I'm a perfectionist. It doesn't come out of my workspace unless it's perfect. And y'all, after you finish Old World, you've got to go and consider seriously Inner Circle because we're learning to make some products that I'm not going to go and spoil it. It's just really the humdiggity. It's wonderful. But I'm going to make the interior designer, that's my best friend. She's not going to see this. I'm going to make a custom antiqued mirror and mat it and frame it. We're learning how to do mirrors. I am going to ruin it. But we also have learned how to do wallpaper and fabrics. So I'm going to go, and she's redoing her office, and I'm going to do a mirror, and I'm going to do a piece of fabric, mat it and frame it in her style as a gift. So I'm going to be doing the Venetian plaster and perfecting my technique. And then I'm going to do Fabio's milk cake technique.
I love that. You know, here's the one thing that I'm proud of you, and the fact that continuing to experiment.
Yes.
And I don't mean this as negative at all, because I used to almost be offended by it, but we have to give ourselves the freedom to play
Yeah.
and experiment, because that's when we, in taking the skill level and being able to have that freedom to experiment and then develop new things that may become your signature finishes or your signature art. So but it has to start somewhere, and there has to be some formal training,
Right.
some formal processes in place that you learn, and then you build on them. And that's what the Old World Finishing course is. So, Sue,
absolutely.
To wrap this up, somebody watching this, that it may be a man or a woman, it may be someone that has done a job for a long time, and their heart and their passion is to be creative and to paint and create. There's a lot of things. I love to see all the different backgrounds. We've had doctors, lawyers, artists, homemakers, mamas, retired judges, tons of people, retired pilots, all these people, but they love, their passion is creating. What would you tell them that would give them kind of a word of encouragement?
Do it. You will not be wasting your time or funds by taking Amy's Old World Finish class, and then hopefully we'll see you in Inner Circle. Amy has got years, 3 decades of experience. She's formally trained in Europe. Her finishes are sought after by the very best. I mean, people that I can't think in numbers that high. But the techniques, and don't get me wrong, I follow Amy's techniques. But what I've seen is each of us as artists or designers or creatives has a unique spin on that technique. So Amy and I could be, and I am not, I am just an infant in this. I could work side by side. We're not going to look alike because the pressure of your hand or the way you use a certain brush, and maybe Amy uses a brush she likes, I use the brush I like. But the technique is hundreds of years old. The products are natural. The products are healthy to be around. The Amy learned and is sharing what the old masters taught her. Once you get some principles down, you can start experimenting. And the reason I experiment with Amy is I make mistakes, and it's like, well, it's paint, so I can't get any worse. And I tweak things so that I don't have to strip it all the way down or sand it down. But those techniques are critical. You don't go into algebra without learning how to add and subtract. You don't do an old world finish or a high level finish without getting the basics. And the basics you're not going to find on YouTube with anyone. There are some principles. You want to take that, you want to follow the follow the process, and then I swear I've gotten rid of my other products. I pretty much gave them away. I love the products. I've had better adhesion, better performance. I've cut my cleaning and prep time down. But you go over that, and once you get those basics, and then the next level is learning how to apply the waxes, how to apply the paints, how to do that, how to mix your milk paints. You will learn more than you ever thought, and it's a good investment for your artistic talents. What I didn't know is I was going to learn business techniques. It's something I had been looking for years. It's something I was hungry for in my own professional career. I was looking for that mentor who would help me go to the next step. I didn't know it was going to be this woman, Amy. Um, I literally have benefited more than I did. And I had a solid master's degree. It wasn't anything frivolous. I've learned more from Old World Finishes and what have we been, 2 months of Inner Circle than I did in 2 years of my master's. And it's practical, it's applicable, it's relevant. And I'm 66. And my husband keeps saying, "Why are you starting this now?" It's because I want to.
Because you
I
enjoy
have,
it. It
I
brings you
enjoy it, but there's a
joy.
fire. A fire was lit. So if you just have a creative mind, don't be afraid. It's only paint. You can always correct it. There's either learn how to camouflage it, sand it down, or strip it down. And I've learned camouflage really well when I messed up, and I still make a lot of messes, except for the smackdown. Um, do it. You'll build your courage. You'll grow your confidence. You're belonging to, it is the first group, and we're mostly women, but it's the first group of men and women that actually want to help. They're not competing with you. In other business groups, I feel there's holding back of information because they view competition. Our group is not like that. We want you to succeed. We want you to experiment. We want you to feel comfortable, and we're all at different levels. It's the best investment I have ever made, and it's way cheaper than a college master's degree, and it's a lot more fun.
Well,
Get the master's. Just get the master's. Don't even do your bachelor's. Oh, it's good to have a piece of paper, but learn something that you love. If you love what you do, you never will work a day in your life.
that's right. That's right. We've always heard that. And
Mm-hmm.
that's why I think a lot of people are using COVID and they're using opportunities like this to learn online to
Yeah.
say, I'm doing this. So we welcome you to join our tribe and join season
Please
7.
do.
You'll see the link below. And we look forward to meeting you. We will start our mentoring session a couple of weeks. In a couple of weeks, it's I don't know the exact date, but it's in November. Smarty Marty will put that on there so you guys can see that. But Sue, thank you so much. You are such a delight. I have fallen so deeply in love with your passion and your love of life and your um, just how you explore, but you live and love so big. And that is
Thank you.
just a testament to the kind of incredibly transparent and beautifully loving person that you are. So thank
Now,
you.
Amy, you know I don't wear makeup. You're going to get me to cry, and then I'll look like a raccoon. I just want to say, come on, join us. You will not regret at all. It is, folks, I am 66, and I've never met, I worked 45 years. I've never met a group of people like this who build. We want you to succeed. We want you to succeed artistically. We want you to make money, and we want you to have fun. So join us. I want to see new faces.
We
Don't
will.
you?
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
we will. It's going to be very exciting. Thank you, Sue. Have a
Thank you so
fabulous
much.
day. Have a
You too.
fabulous day. Thanks, guys.